Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are going to take a walk through Koreatown. We are starting on Juico Avenue and we are going to head down towards Friendship. And let's see what's going on in Koreatown. There is immediately on our right a market. I think this is open most nights. And then on the other side of the road, you've got a supermarket and a hotel in the background. Now let's see what they're selling here. So some local foods. That was quail eggs. I love quail eggs. And here we got a guy frying. Oh, here they're doing fried rice, I believe. Awesome. Yeah, they call it chow fan, which is Chinese for fried rice. And here we've got some shao mai. Shawarma. Yes, shawarma. You here every night?
Yes.
Is that chicken or beef?
It's beef.
Oh, nice. Beef shawarma. So this is, we're still on Juico at this point. I love these quail eggs. Look at those. Nice.
Hello, sir.
Hiya, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello, guys. How you doing? What are you selling? You got coconut juice?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Oh, and a bit of barbecue as well. Nice. Okay, we are still on Juico at the moment, but you can see already that we are in Koreatown because right there is a Korean shop. Q1, and they have looks like they have a bunch of Korean cuisine, and there you have a sign, Korean steam room. How you doing?
Hello, my friend.
What's going on?
From?
What are you selling?
Yeah. Like the finish the car.
These are useful, aren't they?
Yeah, the chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken. Yeah.
For cleaning the roof.
Yeah, the finish the car.
Yeah.
This one is bamboo bagyu.
Ah, that's actually useful. You can use that.
Yeah, the swing.
Cool.
Pangasinan.
Thanks, Kuya.
Good Highlands.
And then you can see here we got a bunch of Korean shops here. And of course this one is not so Korean. You've got Jollibee, which is the landmark at the top of Koreatown. The landmark Jollibee in Koreatown. Right at the top, and on the other side of the street, if you can see, I'm not sure if you can, but it's Burger King on the other side, and that is Juico, as we just said, and then this is what they call the Friendship Highway. Now, the Friendship Highway runs through the core of what is Koreatown, and its full name is Filipino American Highway. And the Filipino American Highway Filipino-American Friendship Highway. And it's called the Friendship Highway because it's a nod to the friendship between Philippines and America. And it's named after that relationship. There is the Burger King, and it runs from sort of Clark Main Gate, which is just round the corner over there, to it joins MacArthur Highway at the south side of Angeles. So it's a main connection for Clark, which used to be the US Air Force Base, to Angeles, and that's why it is called the Philippine-American Friendship Highway, because of that strong friendship that the Philippines and America shared throughout the 20th century. So let's carry on. We're on the west side of the road, heading down south on the Friendship Highway, the Philippines-American Friendship Highway. And you hear people saying, I live in Friendship. And you're like, where is Friendship? Koreatown. So this is where Koreans chose to settle. And you can see why. Because a lot of the stores on the other side of the road are Korean. Literally every other store. You've got shabu shabu. And I don't want to zoom in. I want to focus on this side of the street. In fact, I want to cross over to the other side of the street. Because this side of the street is kind of quiet at the moment. So I'm going to cross over if I can. It might be a little bit too difficult. And then we can get a real feel for why this area, Friendship, has become Koreatown. We can see there CBC Golf and Tour. Everything's in Korean. We've got another sign. It's not even got any English on it. There's a clinic there, and yeah. And this is Kim's Mart. Selling a lot of local, Korean cuisine, kimbap, some other Korean delicacies there. So if you're Korean, and I was wondering this, why Koreatown in Clark? Well, this has all grown from off the back of the Clark Air Force Base. The whole Clark Angeles economy has been one of the success stories of the Philippines. As the Americans left in 1991, but already that American influx of money had an impact on the area outside of Clark Air Force Base, as bars, the bar culture sprung out of that. Starting in the 1950s with a couple of bars just at the main gate. Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. You having a good night? And then in the 1960s more, and then by the time the Vietnam War started, you know, that's when it boomed. That's when Walking Street and everything got developed. But it was very Americanized, and you wouldn't have seen Koreans until after the Americans left, which is when they gave back, when they left the Air Force Base in 1991 after Pinatubo erupted. And Clark went from being a military Air Force base to a Freeport zone and a tourist attraction. And you're thinking, why Koreans? Why not Chinese? Why not Japanese? You know, there's nothing particular about the Air Force Base which lent itself to Koreans, but it starts with a small community being developed, and then you get the snowball effect, and it's easier for more people to come. And once you have what we have here, hello, how are you doing? Once you have what we have here is a full-on area where 90% of the businesses are Korean, then it's a lot easier for more and more Koreans to come, because one of the biggest concerns Koreans would have is about going overseas is, can I survive, you know, with limited English? Well, if you're coming to a place which is 90% Korean, you don't have that concern. The other concern you might have is, can I afford it? And yes, because the Philippines economy is much cheaper than the Korean economy. So it's an economical way for them to access, for example, overseas education, where you might want to send your kids to an English-speaking school, immerse them in that language culture. So yeah, you get a lot of Koreans who want to send their kids abroad, they want to live abroad, and once you've got that snowball effect of many businesses popping up, more and more come. And once Clark Air Force Base had been decommissioned and became an actual airport which encouraged tourism, there was direct flights from Seoul, so easy access. And wow, this whole area has become Koreatown, and that's the story. And you hear people talking about the time before Koreatown, and then you hear people talking about, well, Americans talking about the Korean invasion, and you don't often hear about Korea as a country that invades places, but this invasion was successful. You have a whole area which is now Korean, which is not a bad thing. I love it. Welcome. Welcome to the Clark story. You know, it's a Filipino, American, but lots of other nationalities which have contributed to how the way in which Angles is today. Clark and Angles, the whole story. I think it's great, because that encourages other Asian nations such as China to come over here. Here we've got Juico Barbecue Resto. Next door we've got Barbecue House, the Nano, and this is all Korean barbecue, not Filipino barbecue, Korean barbecue. And Korean barbecue is where you grill it yourself. Filipino barbecue is where someone grills it for you. Korean barbecue is a bit more interesting. You grill it yourself, and it's hugely popular in the Philippines with Filipinos. Hugely popular. And if you actually go to Korea, it's extremely expensive, but here it's much more economical. You get a lot of different types of Korean barbecue, including samgyeopsal. And here we've got Doneno, Korean barbecue. So if you're a fan of Korean food, then you have no issues in this area. In fact, it would take you a while to go to every Korean restaurant here, because every Korean restaurant is Korean. Every restaurant is Korean. Here's an interesting restaurant. Look at that. They've actually put a jeepney in the wall there. So that just tells you this one is Filipino. We've got an entire jeepney there. And a crab. Over here we got kids playing basketball. Whole community feel. But that jeepney restaurant, that one is angry crab. Because you want your crabs angry. If you're really going to enjoy them. If they're not angry, then, you know, the meat ain't right. Angry crab. And that's a Filipino one in the midst of all Koreatown. And then here we've got this amazing church, which we can't see clearly because it's nighttime. But wow, look at this. This is what you get, because a lot of Koreans are Catholic, so Filipinos are Catholic, so you get a good spread of churches around. Jesus, the Eternal Word Parish, Riverside Subdivision, Friendship. And Mass is at Tuesday to Friday, 6 p.m. And they do it live on Facebook, so we want to check that out. Jesus, the Eternal Word Parish. What a building. Because it's not one of those old ones that you get in the UK. This is relatively new. Okay, let's double back. Let's get back onto Friendship Highway. These guys are loving life. The barangay basketball courts, loving it. Yeah, so it's great that you've got this whole community of Koreans that have popped up here. Like every sign, you see restaurants, barbecues, you know, And then you've got Korean cafes, which are really distinctive. You've got Korean supermarkets, which have their own, certain flavour to them. Korean language schools, you've got Korean churches. So it's so nice to have this area, Koreatown. One interesting thing about this area, and I think we'll pick it up in a minute, but a lot of the side streets are named after rivers. So I'm going to keep my eye out for side streets that are named after rivers around the world. There is Nile Street somewhere around here. There is Mekong Street. There is Yangtze from China. There is Volga Street from Russia. So lots of different rivers from around the world. Oh, that one. That is the Busan Grill. That would be a good barbecue to go to. I've been to Busan in Korea. They do excellent barbecue there. Yeah, so if you were Korean and you were considering sending your children abroad, you have a direct flight from Seoul, maybe from Busan. You have a whole community of Koreans, you have Korean schools, you have a whole infrastructure, you don't have to worry about language, you don't have to worry about food, you don't have to worry about costs. So it's an attractive option, and that's what's happened. And I'm not against it, I'm for it. Very much for it. But I would like to see more Chinese over here. I'd like to see the same thing happen to Chinese, because they're the same. Got a lot of friends in China. And their first thought is, I won't be able to speak the language. No one will understand me. And at the moment, you don't see a lot of Chinese around. You see one or two. The odd business, probably less than in the UK. So it is a tough place. It is a tough place if you're Chinese and you can't speak really good English. Unlimited meat, it says over there, which is typical. This is your samgyeopsal. Hello. Unlimited meat. And over there, I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to zoom in, but you might be able to see it as Boom Chicken. That's an iconic restaurant in Koreatown. Very Korean, because they love chicken and beer. So yeah, as we come into the sort of bottom end, the south side of Koreatown, it's interesting to note the history from, I was wondering when was Clark Air Force Base active, and it began there was an American-Spanish War at the end of the 19th century, so at the turn of the 20th century, which America won, and then they controlled the Philippines up until the 1930s with the intention of handing independence over to a certain Philippine government. So yeah, Clark Air Force Base sort of began at the turn of the 20th century and ran until 1991. And during that time, control of the Philippines went from American to Philippine control. And then in 1991, that's when the Americans left. And what you see, the economy and the shape of Angeles and Clark has been shaped by its history, which is fascinating. I just want to pop down here. I'm just going to pop down to the end. There is a Filipino fun fair at the end, and there's some Filipino cuisine. That effectively, I think, marks the end of Koreatown. I don't know. Once you cross the bridge at the bottom. But there is still a lot of Korean businesses as you go over the other side of the bridge. But this area here from Clark Main Gate down to the bridge is what I refer to as Koreatown. But this bit at the end is very Filipino. And I wouldn't mind poking my head in here just to see what's going on. And that is the alley we came out of yesterday on our walk. Filipino music here, pumping away. Oh, lecho. Hello. Hello. Interestingly, there's a lot of school kids in here, maybe Filipino workers, call center workers, getting some snacks. Hey guys. Hi. How you doing? Having a good night? Yeah. What are you selling? Milkshake? Oh, nice.
Fresh mango.
Cool.
Milkshake fresh.
Oh, fresh mango, huh? Cool. So I think that was worth popping into, just to get a feel for the little Filipino area at the bottom. I might just double back and head down one of the other streets before I go up, which will take me back to the motorbike, because I want to see what's going on down there. So as you come over the bridge, the first restaurant you see is this one, Chon Nom, authentic Korean. So yeah, you're in paradise if you're Korean. I want to go down this side street, and that should take me back to the motorbike. So the Korean barbecue, there's one type of that which is called samgyeopsal, which I believe is just the barbecued pork. And that is hugely popular here. Shabu shabu is what I believe is like hot pot, Chinese hot pot, where you get soup and then you boil the meat in a soup. And a lot of these places are unlimited and very cheap. Looks like there's a KTV there, Prada KTV. Evening, guys. Okay, so good to have some people interested in the channel. Good to find out a little bit about their business there. It's mostly a Korean gentleman's KTV, from what I understand. Jane Karaoke House. Korean business. No idea what that says. No idea what that says. Coffee shop at the back. Cafe Q. Which actually looks alright because they got a pool table, they just got absolutely no customers. I wish I knew what this street was called. I wonder if it's on any of these signs here. Ah, Mekong Street, there we go, I knew it. So this is Mekong Street, which is the Thai River. And a lot of the other rivers, you will find about 10 world streets named after world rivers around here. The curious thing about Koreatown is why were the streets all named after world rivers? If someone could tell me, that would be great. See what that is over there. A commercial space. Commercial space. I don't know what these guys are up to. It's pretty late. It's pretty late. Pretty late for doing construction, to be honest. Maybe these guys, construction services, probably just repairing some machinery after a long, hard day. And the motorbike is at the end of this street. It looks a long street to me, but it's all good. Yeah, so you hear the term Korean invasion, the post-91 Korean invasion. And you're thinking, what do people mean by the Korean invasion? Did they bring an army? Did they conquer the Philippines? And the answer is no. All they did was business by business, buy up a certain area of Clark and make it into a little piece of Korea. And was it successful? Absolutely. It looks awfully quiet down there. Maybe I'm going to head back onto the main street and just see what is going on down here, and to see if I can find any other river names. Not promising so far. There's a Filipino shop, Sun Silog, and that one looks all right. Sun Silog. Get your Filipino food. Lovely little garden area in there. It's got Korean writing, but it's a children's centre. Who knows? And there's a KTV, which is karaoke, but it's a special KTV. Now, who knows what they mean by that? These side streets are incredibly interesting because there's so many of them. You don't know what you're going to find. I love that. Okay, so you've got Beauty by Nana, and then you've got Americano iced tea, Korean coffee shop. How you doing, guys? Yeah. And then we've got a bunch of other shops, Korean, along here. It's good that people are interested in Channel. It's just in its infancy at the moment. So, oh, and you couldn't get more Korean than that place. Can Meat Shop. Oh, wow. Yeah, and you've got your Korean barbecue in there. You can see those big brass pipes. Can restaurant. Lovely Korean barbecue. You know, it's not even subtle, is it? You know, shops. You definitely need Google Translate or OCR handy if you're going to figure out what these places are. Premium JTV. And we're back at Robinson's, and I think I may end it here, or I may carry on up this side of the street. See where the mood takes us. Premium JTV, that one. Yeah, I think we've walked mostly around here. We didn't capture the side streets, but I think we've got a good enough feel for it. That's a Blue Moon dining hub and family KTV. Specify family. Kids welcome. See Jollibee in the distance. So we're back on Friendship, Philippines-American Friendship Highway. And that relationship has been going strong for quite some time and still going strong. I suppose the question you have to ask is, was it the right decision to go for independence all those years ago? You know, you could have been a Hawaii type state. If you sort of think of economically the benefits of being a state or colony of the US, everyone gets citizenship. Everyone has freedom to move around. It might not have been the wisest move. I'm not one to comment on that. I'm not trying to poke the fire in any way. I'm just thinking from a purely economical standpoint. Anyway, we are back coming to Don Hueco. We are back at the iconic Jollibee at the north side of Koreatown, and I think that is where we are going to call it. So I hope you've enjoyed those steps, and I look forward to seeing you for a few more steps in the next video.